This week I'm talking about Sketch for Summer by the Durutti column, and it's feeling quite warm and summery here in London, so I thought it would be an appropriate choice for this week. And this track has been requested by quite a few people, most recently last week, and all my viewers do seem to have such great taste in music. Well done. So the Durutti column is essentially Vini Reilly, who's one of the unsung British guitar greats. I think he really does have a unique style and approach to the instrument. And I'm going to begin by playing through the track for you, and I had to make some decisions here about how I was going to approach this. If you listen to the original recording, you've got lots of layers of quite affected guitars, and it's near impossible to unpick exactly what's going on. But there are lots of great live performances which you can hear, and what I've got is a bit of a mishmash of stuff from live performances, stuff from the original recording, and I hope it makes for a nice playable version of this track. Of course, I can't inhabit the Vini Reilly style and play exactly like him. I only learned this track yesterday, but I'm going to do my best. Hope it will be a serviceable rendition, and then I'll break it down for you. So there we are. This was the opening track on the first Durutti column album, which came out in 1980 on Factory Records. And famously, it had a sandpaper sleeve, which was designed to wreck any other records which came into contact with it. And the Durutti column were label mates with Joy Division, and there's actually a track on the second Durutti column album called The Missing Boy, which is Vini Reilly's tribute to Ian Curtis. Now, I'm not a Vini Reilly expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know and love the first two Durutti column albums. And as I said, he's got a very unique style. I think he studied classical guitar or classical music when he was younger, and that comes through in the music. He's got quite a sophisticated sense of harmony. It's very melodic, and there really is nobody else like him. And looking online, there's a huge list of Durutti column albums, most of which I'm unfamiliar with, so I really should try checking some of those out soon. And as far as I know, Vini Reilly's still making music, though quite recently and very sadly he suffered a series of strokes which affected his ability to play the guitar. And I think he's been relearning how to play. I've not heard any news recently, but I hope that's going well, and I hope we hear some new music from him soon. So let me break down what I'm doing here, and this is very much my take on this piece. I'm not playing it exactly like Vini Reilly does, though I hope it's faithful in spirit to the original, and I've borrowed things from the original recording and also from some live performances as well. We're in the key of D minor, And we've got two sections to this piece of music. I'm just going to call them Section A and Section B. And as I said, if you listen to the original recording, different layers of guitars happening, and it's very hard to hear exactly what's there. I think there are at least two layers of guitar there. One of them seems to be playing the basic chords, and then there's another guitar playing more melodic single note stuff over the top. There's possibly another layer playing some extra bass notes as well. So what I'm mainly doing is basing my version on some of Vini Reilly's live performances, where he seems to be combining the parts that you can hear on the original recording. So he's playing the chords, but he's also got the melody line on top. Now the basic harmony of the A section is quite straightforward. It's just a D minor 7 chord for 2 bars, and then a G minor 7 for 2 bars. So I'm just playing up here at the 10th fret. You can just leave your first finger barred across all 6 strings here, and then for the D minor 7 you can put your third finger down at the 12th fret on the A string. That's D minor 7. And then for the G minor 7 you can leave your first finger where it is, and I've got the 12th fret on the D string and the 11th fret on the B string, and just playing 5 strings there. That's a G minor 7. And personally I prefer to move my first finger down, so I'm just covering 5 strings when I play the G minor 7. Just seems a bit more natural for me to do it that way, but I think Vini Reilly just keeps his first finger barred across the whole time when going between those 2 chords. That's the basic harmony, but I think the hardest thing for me playing this piece is to try and emulate Vini Reilly's picking hand technique, which is unique, I think, and it doesn't really seem to fall into any particular pattern that I can hear. So for me it's really a combination of thumb notes, and then I'm playing fingers on the middle couple of strings, and then I'm trying to bring out the melody as I hear it, and it's mainly on the B string and on the high E string. So I'm starting off something like this. So I just got some bass notes, arpeggiating the chord. I'm using my thumb and then 3 fingers for most of this, and I've got my 3 fingers on the D, G, B. Sometimes I'm moving them over onto the G, B and high E strings. And occasionally got this little hammer on with the 3rd finger as well, so just lifting up the 3rd finger and hammering it down. And the melody note here is the high C note there, so I'm just adding that in with my little finger. And of course the whole thing is helped by the effect, and in particular by the delay. So if I just switch that on, and I've got an 8th note delay, so and that actually generates extra notes, and it helps with the rhythm and the flow of it, so you don't actually need to be as busy as you might think with your picking hand. So that's the first couple of bars. Then we're going to the G minor 7, and the melody is this. I played on the B string, and I'm just trying to bring that out. So I'm mostly playing that with my 3 fingers on the D, G, B, and then I've occasionally got some bass notes in there as well. And then in the next bar there's just a little fill. So I'm taking this from the live version, and the melody is this. And I'm just adding that into the chord shape with my little finger. That's how I'm playing the first couple of bars. And essentially what then happens is we're just repeating that, but with some variations and some extra fills. So the second time through the chords I'm playing something like this. So it's starting off in exactly the same way with that D minor 7. we've got this extra high harmony note in the melody, so I'm bringing my third finger over to play this high E, and we've got this little shape here, so a C and an E. And the bass note changes, and we're switching to the G minor 7 as before. So a little fill. So this is G minor 7, moving that up 2 frets to an A minor 7, and just adding in a little melody note with my little finger on the top string. We then go around one more time. This time just a little fill on the G minor 7, so it's a little hammer and pull with the second finger, and then bringing my little finger in to add in that G note at the 12th fret on the 3rd string. And then the last time. And that's the same as we had before with that high melody note. And then to lead into the next section, we've just got the G minor 7 with that high F note added. Let's have all of that slowly then. The B section then, which is based on a really beautiful series of chords. And I'll just turn off the delay while I take you through what these chords are. So it starts with this shape here. So what have we got here? I suppose it's a B flat triad with a G in the bass, so it's giving you, it's kind of a G minor 7 sound that we're getting here. So we've got B flat, D and F, and then we've got a G in the bass. Now Vini Reilly plays a lot of stuff here with his thumb wrapped around the top of the neck. Not always a very natural thing for a lot of players, but it's worth persisting with, because there are lots of situations when that can be a very useful technique. I suppose you could possibly rejig some of these chord shapes and play them in a more kind of conventional way, but it's not then possible to get some of those extra melody notes. So you really do want to have a go at that thumb over the top technique for this. So I've got my fingers on the top 3 strings here, and the top part of this is going. So I'm just changing the melody note on the high E string, and then I've got my thumb playing the bass note, and I've made the pattern a little bit more regular than perhaps what is being played when he does it live or on the record. It just makes it a little bit more learnable, I think. So the precise pattern that I'm playing is this. So I'm pinching, then the fingers, thumb, fingers, and then thumb and fingers together at the end. next chord shape is this one. So this is a D minor chord on top, and we've got an F note in the bass. So once again, wrapping your thumb round the top of the neck. So this is just an inversion of the D minor chord. It's the first inversion D minor chord. And it's exactly the same idea. We've got a little melody note on the high E string, and the picking pattern I'm using is exactly the same. And then we've got this. And for me, this is the most difficult chord in the whole piece. So I've got my thumb wrapped all the way around to play this B flat note at the first fret on the A string, and then I've got a C triad on top. So open G, first fret on the B, and open top string. So it's a kind of C over B flat sound. It's a beautiful sounding chord, but very awkward to get that clean, and I don't always manage it actually to get that B flat note ringing cleanly. But that's the chord, and then we've got that same kind of melody idea on top. So very awkward. Have a go. There is a little bit of a workaround. You could play that same sound up here and it's a little bit easier. So you've got the B flat note here at the 6th fret on the low E, and a nice easy to play C triad here, 5th fret on the D, G, B. That's giving you the same sound. Obviously the tone is a little bit different, but it's much easier to play up there, so you might want to try that if this chord down here is impossible for you. Anyway, then we've got a simple D minor chord and a lovely slidey fill. So we're just sliding this little shape around. We've got a C and a G, sliding up to a D and an A, and then just sliding that back down again. And then I'm playing an open G and hammering on this A note. So that's the first part of the B section. Then we're going round again, so it's the same thing. This awkward shape. And then I've taken this from one of the live performances. We hit the D minor chord and just moving up in triads here. So D minor, moving that shape up 2 frets to an E minor, and then moving up to an F major triad. Then we've got some new chords. So, and this is a G minor triad with a B flat in the bass. It's the same shape that we had down here with the D minor with the F in the bass, just moving that up to the 6th position. As I say, it's an inversion of the minor triad, and it gives you, I suppose, a kind of B flat 6 sound. What I'm doing at this point in the B section is just trying to add a bit more syncopation. So I think I've changed my right hand slightly, and I'm just bouncing these chord shapes. You can hear on the studio recording there, but it becomes quite syncopated and a little bit more rhythmic at this point. Then we've got this. So this is an F triad with an A in the bass. Then we're coming down to our super awkward C over B flat, which you can also play here. And actually on one of the live performances I saw, he's playing something like this, I think a kind of G minor chord in place of the C over B flat, so that's an option as well. So here, just a G minor triad, bass note with the thumb. Then we've got D minor and a Again, I got this from a live performance. It's just a D minor with some little variations. So I'm just moving my second finger around to get a bit of a fill happening. And then we're back to the original set of chords. So ending on D minor. So the way I've decided to do it is it's just the third time through that I'm going up a bit higher and playing those different chords. The first, second and fourth time through I'm just sticking with the same chords, and that might not be exactly what's happening on the studio recording or some of the live versions, but I've just kind of streamlined it a little bit here just to make it more playable. So let me run through that slowly with the delay switched on. So there we are, something like that. It's actually hurting my thumb a little bit doing some of that thumb over the top stuff. Must be a bit out of practice with that technique. So then what happens is we go around again. So there's another A section, another B section. I'm playing them more or less in the same way. If you listen to the studio recording, listen to the live versions, there are some variations and he does some stuff differently. So if you wanted to check out some of those versions, I'm sure you could pick up some variations of your own and throw those in there as well. One further thought, if you did want to experiment with some of those lovely single note lines that you can hear on the studio recording, then the D minor scale, the D natural minor scale, will be a good place to start. And you can really just noodle around that scale and those notes will fit the chords to this piece of music. And maybe you can get somebody to back you up on rhythm guitar and just hold down the basic chords. And it's just that kind of sound. Play about and see what happens. Let's talk gear then, and I was quite surprised to learn that there's not that much definite information out there about what Vini Reilly would have used on that first Durutti column album, and if you've got more information then I'd be quite interested to find out. But looking at live videos, he's often seen using a Les Paul, sometimes it's a Strat, sometimes he's playing through a Roland Jazz Chorus amp. I think he's been known to use a Space Echo as well, but whether any of that stuff was used on the recording for this track I'm not sure. So what I've done is just gone with my instincts and with my ears. So I'm using my Strat, which is a 60s reissue Strat on the middle pickup. Amp is a Vox AC30, and we're clearly going to need some effects. And I think the most important effect is going to be delay. And you can clearly hear this on the original recording. And it's a kind of timed delay. It's in time with the music to an 8th note rhythm. And you can also hear some modulation. So you could use a chorus pedal perhaps, or what I've gone for is a delay pedal that's also got some modulation built into it. So I've got my Catlin Bred Belle Epoque Deluxe, which is a lovely pedal, and its main thing is that it emulates the sound of an Echoplex, but it's also got several other delay modes, and I'm using today, let me see, mode number 6, which I think is one of the modes which emulates the sound of a Deluxe Memory Man, so it's got a bit of modulation in there. And this one, it's got a little bit of pitch movement. It's got that kind of vibrato, almost Leslie speakerish sound, which seems quite close to what I'm hearing on the original recording. So that delay, that timed delay, in combination with a bit of modulation, will get you quite close to the Vini Reilly sound on this track, I think. And then the one other pedal I'm using is a bit of compression from an MXR Dynacomp. So let me give you some sounds then. This is just the guitar straight into the AC30. Nice neutral clean sound, and I'll add the compression in. Just adds a bit of sustain, just seems to bring the guitar sound a bit more up front. And then Switching on the delay. So you can hear that it's got that 8th note rhythm, and it's also got that modulation and pitch shift. That's it for this video. I've tabbed all of this out and I'll put it up on my Patreon page, and you can sign up there, pay what you like, and you can get access to all of my tabs. And I'll also put my backing track up there as well, which is essentially just a drum beat and some synthesized bird song. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.